Mhm.
So, my advice for financing a trip abroad is to make sure that you share your dreams and your visions with people that may have the means to pay for you to go. Both of
Mhm.
my trips to Africa and Haiti were financed by another organization. They couldn't pay for me for the final product, but they
Mhm.
could pay for me to go. And so that was the way that I was able to go, was to just share my dreams with people, and they in turn finance those dreams. And so if you know what you want to do, just talk, 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 talk. You never know who will fund your dream. I don't know if you remember, but on January 12th, 2010, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti and literally killed 200,000 people, orphaned almost 700,000 kids, and left 1.5 million people homeless. 2 years later, the building process continued. I was a part of a team of construction workers and general contractors to go build an orphanage for 20 kids of 700,000. My job was to document what was going on with a still camera and a video camera. So I was limited to what I was going to do. I had a very strong purpose of what I wanted to document, what my role was, but at the same time, I was trying to figure out what my place was in an area that was overly documented already 2 years in. As I reflect on this trip, I realize that I learned three important lessons that I apply not only today, but what I hope to apply in the future, what I hope more of you can apply as you think about international travel and just daily life. And the first one was this idea of participation. Every day, I showed up as a part of the team, not by myself, not this lone filmmaker getting the shot, getting that perfect look. But they would come because I participated with the crew. I showed up. I swung the hammer when I could, even though I don't know how to swing a hammer. They laughed at me. I got them water when they were hot and when they were tired. I made sure that people were okay. That didn't really fall into the requirements of a filmmaker, but I did it anyway. And I was able to see more than I think I would have seen if I hadn't participated. But a second lesson that I learned was this idea of limitation. I remember lying in bed at night under the mosquito net, missing the comfort of home, wishing that I was home. And putting an emotional limitation on myself really helped to enjoy the time that I was there. So instead of worrying about what was home or all the comforts, I could limit myself emotionally and just say, I'm going to enjoy every single moment that I'm here. But I was also able to limit myself equipment-wise. I had a video camera that recorded on 1 hour tapes. I had 15 tapes. I had 15 hours in 2 weeks. That broke down to one tape a day. What was the most important stuff? Well, when you're first there, everything is important. But by the end, you're like, I just burned through 7 hours, 7 tapes, I'm in trouble. So that was one limitation. Another limitation was I had one lens, a 50 millimeter lens. For any photographers out there, if you want to zoom in and get a close-up, you have to get in people's face. If you want to get a wide shot of a building, you have to go out into the middle of the field. But these limitations led to this third lesson of permission. As I interacted with people, as I was able to show them that I wasn't trying to steal their image, the last thing that they had, I was able to get trust. There was one woman who lived in the fields surrounding the orphanage site. Every day, I would look in her in the eye. I'd be like, I start to raise my camera. She would just go like this. No way, honey. No way. But towards the end of the trip, end of 2 weeks, at one point she just gave that nod and said, okay. And what was special is it wasn't that it was this drop dead National Geographic woman. She was just an everyday woman living her life, hardened by life. And her son, it created this moment. Is it a perfect image? No, but it's It's this relationship that occurred at this precise moment. And as I go back and just really look at these photos, this one in particular, I'm struck by just this idea of just showing up, limiting myself, and developing a sense of trust so that I could see something like this. Because when I look at this, I think about her life that was cut short because of an earthquake. And so, as we work together, this was the end of our trip. This idea of participation, limitation, and permission created an impact on my life that I love sharing with people. Because they always ask, how did you get there? Because I shared what I wanted to do.